I suppose I should have been recording all this time. Well, I'll start the recording now.
Very lewd warlock closet here, exposing its orifice to everyone from behind the cloak.
It is. It definitely is like a flasher, right?
Definitely a flasher. It's basically motioning, hey, look at this.
Now the Naga Witch carefully monitors Coilfang's operations from her seat of power within Serpentshrine Cavern. This place is a workplace hazard. There's no handrails anywhere.
I haven't seen a single yellow stripe on the floor either.
I don't encourage yellow stripes on the floor. Those are just terrible.
Far more home here among the waters of the reservoir than locked within the cold stone walls of Black Temple. Vashj maintains a close eye on her minions and personally oversees the draining of Zangarmarsh.
Wow, 7 terracones.
Well, you know what? They actually go for a little bit of gold now. Who knows? With all that water and the right amount of arcane power, I'm sure a certain blindfolded night elf could make a pretty decent well of eternity for himself so far from home.
That was the plan?
Part of it. There are several important figures living down here, some by their own choice and others are forced into service. This big wet one is called Hydros the Unstable, but I like to call him Bree-Ta. He is a water elemental. You can see 2 columns which channel beams of energy into him. It seems that the beams are keeping his body purified and stable. If he crosses the threshold, the columns will stop channeling energy into him, causing him to revert to his unstable, poisonous form, causing him great pain. Thus, he is more or less a prisoner of Lady Vashj, forced to guard the way and to prevent any intruders from getting past. He is bad at his job. He could also be acting as a component to a giant water filter. As you can see, his tainted spawn emerge from that pipe over there and are cleaned as they walk by. We are approaching another monster in the deep. This one is known as the Lurker Below. Roll up your sleeves and tuck away any flowy material because we're going to need to enter the water to get a good look at this one.
Extra points or swan dive.
I think we have to enter over here.
What now?
Does anybody not have this achieve?
I don't know if I do.
Try fishing it out.
What are we doing?
Oh, to get the achievement, you gotta fish it up.
We'll need to disturb the water here to get the beast's attention.
Oh, I don't have fishing on this character.
Well, Fakey, it's all you.
I'm in combat.
I'm
Oh.
killing them all. Hold on.
It's probably a fish or something.
The fish out here respawn like immediately.
Yeah, come up on the platform. There.
Still says I'm in combat. Oh, there we go.
Not much is known about this guy. Whether or not he was here before the Naga took an interest in this place or came after. We don't know.
not gonna matter in a minute here.
Anybody want to smell it?
Anyone need those boots?
I can take the velvet boots.
Whew, that was neat.
Who's I?
All right. Let me go to the next bad guy.
I think you're meant to trade this to somebody else.
Probably.
A versus TJ.
Oh, it's Siley that wants the boots.
Over here, TJ.
Thanks, Fakey.
All right. There's a little bit of a trek till the next guy, so we can do a light jog to get there a little bit quicker, I think. $1 gold. Daddy's buying a new
Don't
rich.
spend it
boat.
all in one place.
I'm gonna buy a boat. Leothres the Blind was one of 5 Blood Elves Kael'thas Sunstrider originally sent Illidan Stormrage to train as demon hunters. Three of them died in the vigorous, exhausting training. Another, a prodigy known as Veritas Fellsoul, succeeded and now trains more demon hunters at the Black Temple.
Is he in current lore?
Mm-hmm. The 5th one, our pale friend up ahead, went insane with the training and was exiled to Zangarmarsh, where he found his way into the lair of Lady Vashj. He probably found his way in, and in his madness started wreaking havoc. Judging by the 3 Grey Heart spellbinders that are keeping him banished here, Lady Vashj's minions successfully subdued him and are now keeping him imprisoned. Well, I certainly didn't hear him act all crazy, but he was very rude, so I suppose he's in a better place now. Better for us anyways.
I happen to know he's not.
There is that.
Thanks, Mickey.
Show.
We should take a little bit of a jog up here, up this tunnel here. The Naga must like nice long walks between everything they do.
But they ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
Well, that's how their legs don't get tired. Genius.
He gives them time to plot all their wicked demises.
I feel so bad for these underbog colossuses. They are some of the natural creatures who lived here before this planet suffered its horrible fate. We are now approaching a very high-ranking Naga. Fathom Lord Karathres is his name, and he holds a very special prisoner. Let's free him, shall we?
Anyone want that leather working?
Kill them! I'll be the better for it!
Allow me to introduce you all to Seer Olam. He was captured because he knew of Akama's plan to defeat Illidan. Luckily, he was rescued before anything else could happen to him. Alright, let's jog ahead. Another little twisty cavern. I think we're missing someone. Sarly. Oh, they're coming.
I'm working on it. I was trying to multitask and failed horribly.
Are you me at work?
If you look up ahead,
Maybe.
if you look up ahead, you'll see a really big purple dude. His name is Moralgrim Tidewalker. He is a sea giant. I'm sure most of us here have had the misfortune of running into one of these stinky fellas at one point or another. They're not fun. Nor are the many murlocs that surround him. It looks like they're worshipping him. There really isn't much more to say about him, so let's keep moving on to the star of the show, Lady Vashj. Our next destination is quite a walk from here, as she likes to keep herself as secure as possible. We'll have to fight our way through many of her subjects and defenders to get to her.
Everyone wants to be first to kill things.
I'll just jog up ahead a little bit.
After taking all the hits in Shadowlands, it's kind of nice killing things with one shot.
Oh yeah, another vortex.
24 silver.
Who else? Practically drowning in gold.
Lady Vashj was born in the highborn city of Vashj as the daughter of matron Leshrethia Vashj, the city's beloved ruler. At some point, Vashj came to the night elf capital of Zin Ajari and became one of Queen Ajara's personal handmaidens. Vashj considered it her birthright to serve Ajara. She copied the queen's hairstyle and clothing as much as possible.
You can tell he uses bridge all the time.
When the queen made Vashj her foremost handmaiden, remaining in the queen's favor became Vash's sole concern. She was described as quite beautiful with exotic feline eyes, although she was still not as beautiful as Ajara herself.
Not gonna lie, Ashara isn't beautiful.
When the
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
When the Highborn were contacted by the Titan Sargeras, Ajara was enthralled by Sargeras' vast might. Like the queen, Vashj looked forward to his arrival on Azeroth. Both women were certain that he would find Ajara irresistible. The queen did indeed possess amazing charisma, and she doubtless enhanced it with magic. With a quiet word or a mere glance, Ajara could inspire any number of violent emotions. Passion and rage were her favorite choices. Driven by sudden outbreaks of jealousy, her subjects occasionally squabbled over her affections and fought duels in the name of her honor. The queen was amused by such displays and did not always intervene to save her combatants from harm. It was precisely this sort of possessive fury that affected Vashj when Azara and her handmaidens paid a visit to the High Priestess Tyrande Whisperwind. Tyrande had been captured by the Burning Legion and was imprisoned in the palace. On a whim, the queen offered to make Tyrande one of her handmaidens, but Tyrande politely declined, saying she was sworn to Elune before all others. Ajara was irritated by Tyrande's refusal, but diplomatic, and departed shortly after. Vashj could not forget the queen's offer so easily. The memory became a torment. Despite the fact that Tyrande had refused the queen, Vashj came to see the priestess as a rival for Ajara's affections. Irrationally certain that she had to act, Vashj tried to kill Tyrande, but failed. Vashj then fled the prison cell before her attempt on Tyrande's life could be discovered. Who the hell is... Oh no, no, no. Oh well.
I knew that was gonna happen.
I know. 10,000 years later, sometime after the Third War, the Demon Lord Kil'jaeden contacted Illidan Stormrage. Although Illidan had worked against Legion's interest in the past, Kil'jaeden was willing to give Illidan another chance. If Illidan destroyed the Frozen Throne, Kil'jaeden promised to grant Illidan anything he might desire. Accordingly, Illidan sought out new allies. The Naga joined him because the old gods willed it, and they sent them to make sure his champion against the Lich King succeeded, so that it could start a new war on Azeroth. Their attempt was thwarted, and Illidan made a hasty retreat to Outland in the hope of evading Kil'jaeden's wrath. Many Naga died during the attack, but Lady Vashj and her surviving Naga had managed to slip away from the fighting and take shelter deep within nearby Lordimir Lake. Illidan ordered her to find new allies for his army while he could scout Draenor. Lady Vashj and her Naga sought out the Prince Kael'thas Sunstrider and his group of Blood Elves. After several attempts at peace with Kael'thas, Kael relented and accepted Vashj's help in a battle against the undead Scourge. Yes, Kael'thas was a member of the Alliance back then. After the battle, Kael and his Blood Elves were then led away in shackles by their allies for fighting alongside the Naga. Later, Vashj helped Kael escape with his people through the old dark portal to Outland.
Boo. Boo, these elves. These not night elves.
It tells you a lot about a person who has tons of guards and servants but doesn't lock the door.
Why lock the door when you've got guards?
Like, she's rich. And not that new money kind of rich either. She hides underwater because she has no need to show off. You know, she seems
That's
smaller
who
than I
has guards.
remember.
Maybe the new boss.
That looks really uncomfortable.
Vashj is kind of basic.
Well, folks, that was a tour. I hope that you liked it and learned some new things about Azeroth and Outland shared histories.
Excellent.
There's some mail boots if someone wants those.
I bet she's so basic that she likes cookies and cream, or not cookies and cream, chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream.
Who doesn't? You said
That's
TJ.
amazing. Found the heretic.
Yeah.
Actually, both of those are really good. Cookies and cream.
so much more awesome ice cream out there.
There is, but that's like a solid choice.
Name one. That's right.
Strawberry cheesecake.
Thank you, Shrub. That was so much fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I love these lower tier things. I like learning about little backgrounds of different people.
I didn't know about Ventura.
I didn't either.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool little interactions. Like some of it comes from the novels, and some stuff I get from the old booklets that came in Orcs and Humans and Warcraft 2 and 3. It's the books had so much information. I find a lot in those too. That's where you get like
I found the other day.
What's that?
A World of Warcraft magazine.
Oh my god.
Nice.
I didn't know this was a bid to make another, like, Sunwell type thing. Or Well of Eternity. I had no idea what they were down here.
And water is the most important thing ever. It's all about the water.
Well, if you think about it,
Understand.
Zangarmarsh was the Zangar Sea when it was Draenor. So before it became Outland, this whole area was underwater. All log creatures they lived under the water, and the mushrooms all were underwater. So it's kind of all that water drained away. They lost all the seas and oceans. So what was remaining? If you want to build a big army to protect yourself against a bunch of demons that are really pissed at you, like Illidan was, take control of the one resource on an entire planet, and you control everyone.
I never realized that was called Zangar Sea until you just went.
Yep.
That's amazing.
I love the lore.
I never even. I'm literally just looking at the two maps side by side now.
Yep.
Yesterday, I found the place where the Swolkins get swole.
That's the real lore, man. That's it.
It is.
That's why we play this game.
It's important information right there.
Yeah. It definitely ties in somehow with Arthas. I don't know how. I'll find a way.